photos I've been using in magazines and books and they hit me up and they're like, hey man, can we use this photo? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, just give me credit, man. And I'm like, so I've been able to get a couple of things out there, man, and everybody's like, damn, dude, how'd you do that? Or even locally, I was doing like for 2 local magazines and they would send me out to like for the soccer games or the Spurs game and stuff like that, and I was just like, yeah, I'll go. Why not?
For real?
But it was just, but it's stuff like that, man, that I'm like, yeah, dude, like, I'll do it, Right now that I can, man, I've got the opportunity, I'm like, yeah, bro, like, I'm gonna, at the beginning, because I was a post office employee for 15 years, and at the beginning, I don't want to say I didn't take it seriously, but it's just like, the people that I've met, I could have done so much more with it, but I just kind of like, oh, man, I'm just doing it just because. And so that's like one of my regrets, man. It's just like not being able to capitalize on it like as much as I want to do now. Now I'm kind of like, yeah, people still know me and they still see me out there, but I'm still not like, up there. But,
so what got you interested in fighting? Like, what was it for you?
For me, honestly, man, and I've actually told people this before. It started with me actually getting my ass whooped in Austin, and being out there, man. It was like people turned out this guy was like a collegiate wrestler, and I mean he was just a big dude, man. And I didn't know anything. I just thought I knew how to punch, and I didn't, But man, we're already live, bro. Hello, everybody. It's sPidA here, the Fight Card Podcast, coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. As always, we are inside the HOJ Academy, and with me today, I actually have Taylor Andrews, man. Taylor, how are you, brother?
I'm good. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. I know you. We had messaged a few times before, and of course, you are local to San Antonio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what gym are you training out of?
USA.
And of course, we had Chris Kunchik earlier, man. Like I said, he was here. The guy is starving, so I was kind of trying to get him out of here so I can go get something to eat, right? Because he still has to make weight. But yeah, man. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier, man. As far as being in the sport, being able to like rub elbows with top fighters, and just being able to hang out with people, and of course you train, man. So you're out there getting punched in the face by people, right? So how was it for you, man? I mean, what was it that got you involved in mixed martial arts?
I started training back in 2013, January. I remember the exact day, January 4th of 2018. I mean, 2013, my bad. Oh. No. Yeah, I've been doing this for about, 9 years now? Yeah, doing that. I started out at an American Top Team in South Florida. So I always tell everybody, whoever asks me how I started out, I always say I think I had like the greatest foundation for mixed martial arts at an American Top Team. So when I started there, that is when they had no champion. At that point, they didn't have a champion yet. That's when Robbie Lawler became champion, like after a year of me training there.
Nice.
So I remember when I first started out, I always said, I'm going to be the first champion for this gym. That was always like my thing. But
man, definitely.
Yeah, when he became champion, I was kind of just like, man, that kind of hurt.
I gotta fight this guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was like, that kind of hurt. And at that time, I was like, probably like 160, so I was trying to fight around like the 145 fight class. Nice. But now I go to 135. I walk around like at like 149, 150.
Okay, well, I mean, you don't cut too much weight, right?
Heck no, man. I'm always in shape. I stay in shape. I stay in shape year round. Like I stay training nonstop all day, every day. I love this sport, bro. I love this sport.
No, I mean, and I can see it, man, because obviously, I mean, one of the things, and even having to do with media, I mean, I've talked to people over the years, and people always ask me, like, oh, man, I want to start a fight shirt company, or I want to start, and I'm like, dude, unless you want to go broke, man, don't do it, because I said, it's a tough business, man. I mean, I know, as explosive as it is, people love fights, man, but to start a business from the fight game, it's hard, because you're going to lose a lot of money just trying to get it going, but... the same thing goes with fighting, man. I mean, it's like I always tell people always say, like, oh, you know what, you got to be crazy to want to be in this sport. And you kind of have to, man, because it's like, it's a tough business to break into, but it's just like once you get that opportunity, I mean, of course, you're able to train with top team athletes and gyms, man, it helps. But at the end of the day, it's just you got to kind of stand out and make a name for yourself, man.
Heck yeah, it's kind of like a youth sport. I think TJ Dillashaw said it before he fought Corey Sandhagen last time. He said, I get that I have a team, but this is about me. Yeah. It is, like, as selfish as it sounds, it is about me. You have coaches and a whole team, but when the cage door is locked, it's just me and you. I need you to keep that same energy when it's you and I.
No, definitely.
I love that. I love it so much.
And then let me ask you, man, because you mentioned earlier, you started training with ATT, and, I mean, with that alone, even the academy, the gym itself, man, they had a bunch of veterans in there, man. Yeah, I mean, of course, like you said, they were starting the team from the get-go. But I mean, the fact that Robbie Lawler was able to get that championship belt and started making a name, and of course now it's blown up, and of course it's one of those things that not every gym can do, man, because there's only a few gyms out there that can honestly say like, yeah, they have championship fighters from that team.
Yeah.
But I mean, what happened from there, man? I mean, were you originally from Florida?
No, so I'm a military brat. So I was born in Virginia and moved around a lot. So when I was like 14, 15, we moved to San Antonio. So I did all my high school in San Antonio.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is how I gained popularity through San Antonio.
Right.
And my best friend, my brother best friend named Richard, he used to have fights in his backyard.
Oh,
so
nice.
we used to fight in his backyard. I've had a couple of friends who fight now. They train. I'm not gonna put them out there like that, but they train now. They used to fight in the backyard with me.
Oh, sweet, man.
Yeah. So then we ended up moving after high school. We moved to South Florida. I always tried to like find a gym to train. That's when I actually started taking it seriously.
Yeah.
When I moved away, because when I moved away, I had no friends. I'm like 18 years old. I had no more friends. I'm out of high school at this point.
Right.
So I'm basically starting fresh and new. So I was like, well, I like fighting. Let me go find a gym. And I stumbled across it just said, when I Googled it, it just said like MMA gym. I was like, okay, what the heck? It's like 10 minutes from down the street from my house. let me just try this thing out. And I go in there, and I remember seeing American Top Team. And I was like, Thiago Alves trains here. Huh, he might not be here. Walk into the door, open up the double doors, me and my mom, and I seen Tyron Woodley, Robbie Lawler, Dustin Poirier,
everybody,
Bigfoot Silva, Mike Brown. The list goes on. And the minute I seen everybody, I was like, I want to sign up. I didn't care what the price was, any of that. I just signed up the very same day. I did a trial class. Before I even finished class, I went back to the first day, bro, let me sign up right now. Here's my debit card. Let's get this going. And I was there for about 2 years. At this point, then I turned like 21. Yeah, turning 21. And at that point, I was like thinking I want to become a grown man. I signed up for making it on my own, so I joined the military for myself and joined the Army. And I got out. And then from there, I moved to Tennessee. In Tennessee, they had like this little small gym. It was called Submission Academy at the point, but now they're called Wildside. But they have like a UFC fighter come from out there. His name is Nate Landwehr.
Right.
He fights in the featherweight division. So when I met him, he was just fighting at some M1 Global in Russia.
Oh, nice.
He wasn't a big name, but like in the state of Clarksville, Nate Landwehr was a rock star.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like a rock star. Like he got like the key to the city as soon as he got to the UFC. They gave him the key to the city. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I met him before his upbringing. I used to do rounds with him and stuff like that. So I think I like the fact that I got to train with different people and learn multiple styles. And then from there, I moved to Hawaii. And then from Hawaii, I don't know. It just took off from there, yeah.
No, man, and I mean, obviously, man, you've been around a lot of freaking top names, dude. That's freaking amazing, dude. We talked earlier, man. I mean, I was telling you, I mean, doing the whole media aspect. I mean, I've been able to hang out with fighters and athletes that were at the top of the game, during that time. So I mean, it's humbling, dude, because like you said, you're hanging out with these guys. Of course, you were training with them, but I mean, they're like everyday people, man.
Heck, yeah, right? they're like I used to think they were like born and chosen people, like by God. God ordained that man. He's gonna get it. Like he's gonna like Tom Brady, LeBron James. They ordained. They got that. They ain't gotta work for nothing. But joining this sport, I actually realized and learned that like the playing field is even. The best way to put it for me, I don't know if you ever watched Fairly Odd Parents, but there's an episode where Timmy wished everybody was the same, and everybody was like a big gray blob, and that's how I look at it. Everyone is the same. There's certain people put in more work than others. They put in more work, and since that's the concept in my brain, if I just work 4 times a day while everybody just working 1, I'm going to become what I always wanted to be. And that is the greatest martial artist on God green earth, and no man, no woman, nobody can tell me otherwise. So since I work 4 times a day and you just work 1 to twice, I am 2 steps ahead of you already.
Oh yeah.
And you're just playing catch up with me. You're just playing catch up.
Yeah.
I love this sport for that. I love planet Earth, this sport for that whatever you put your energy into is what you become ultimately, and I love it. So to me, I'm not in this sport just to be a dog fighter. Oh, he's a good fighter. He's always in good tough spots, good tough fights. I don't want to be a gatekeeper. I want to be the best. I want to be I don't want to be ranked number 1 and can never get to the champion. Forget that. I feel like I wasted with my 9 years of this so far if I can't beat the top guy. I want to be the guy. I want to be Alpha. I want to be Goku. I want to be the man who looks down upon you. I want to be your God. I want you to bow to me. Like,
why not? Heck yeah.
Exactly. I love this. I love this sport.
You see, and at that point, man, because there's a lot of, and I've always asked people, because of course, say like a D1 division wrestler, man, like he comes into the sport, and of course they kind of get the limelight because they're an athlete, and they, you know, so they get a little bit more of a boost, and it's hard to say, okay, you know what, you're gonna fight amateur. It's like a lot of them are like, nah, man, I'm ready
to do that,
right? Go pro and start fighting, you know, because I mean, especially a wrestler, I mean, that's one of the toughest freaking things you can do, right? I mean, but on that same note, man, I mean, yourself, I mean, you've already put in so much time that it's like, yeah, man, like, you know what, I don't want to fight the older guys, like, put me up there, man.
Yeah,
like, give me start your ranking and get your way up.
Heck, I want to fight the top dogs, but you know what I mean? I'll prove who I am at all times. If you say you got to fight this guy, I'll fight that guy. But, like, I still want to fight elite. Like, to me, to be great, even though it's scary, it gives you that bad gut-churning feeling, that nervousness, I still need to fight the best at all times. I don't care if it's in the gym, in the octagon, your mom's backyard. We're doing it. I just...
Parking lot at Walmart. It don't matter, man.
It don't matter. To me, personally, I got to fight the best. And I will never shy away. If I think another man is great, I want that man.
Yeah.
I want that man. And I'm not just saying that because it sounds good. No, I want that man. Because I deemed him great, and I want to be great, so I got to beat that great man and say I'm great.
Yeah, the old, in order to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Perfect, man. And let me ask you, man, I mean, being local, how long have you been here? I mean, you said you came here, you were in San Antonio during high school, but when you came back, how long have you been here in San Antonio? Since
November of last year, 2021, yeah. I came back, and before I moved back out here, I messaged Ray, I want to say back in August, on Instagram, and I found him. He told me to come out, and I came out one Saturday, and day one of his sparring days.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, heck yeah.
You're like, man, let's play punch face, man.
Hell yeah.
And I mean, some of the names out there you've been training with, man. Who can you tell us you've been punching in the face out there at the gym?
Dang.
I know a lot of them are fighting this weekend, bro. All right, there's a lot of guys from the team.
Of them. Yeah, I've gone a couple rounds with Gordy. Gordy's fire. He's fire. His jiu-jitsu IQ is off the charts. Oh my god, the kid's jiu-jitsu IQ off the charts. Eddie's the one guy in the gym who's just like, he's a dog. He's such a dog. So when I go with Eddie, it's just two pit bulls. Just
going. You gotta step it up.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's my boy. I love Eddie. I've gone rounds with Ray. You know what I mean? I know he's injured and everything, but I've gone a couple rounds with Ray. Ray's good. I see why he was in the UFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go against certain guys, but okay, I can see why you were where you were.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. Mm-hmm. You see, and that's the thing. Like with Ray, man. I mean, I was covering the sport when he was an amateur fighter, man. That's how long I've been in the scene. But the same thing with him. You know, when he started, of course, as an amateur, he was fighting here locally, Cowboys. He's gone through the ranks, of course. You know, when he got picked up by the UFC, I was just like, man, it's about time, man. Because, I mean, the guy definitely put in this time. And, I mean, I know his time there was short-lived, but, I mean, he's still, you know, he's still fighting and he's still doing his thing. And I have a lot of respect for him because, I mean, he's opened up not one gym but two. And the fighters that he's bringing up now he's passing that knowledge and he's able to actually tell people, like, hey, look, this is what I went through and you know, what to expect, man, because I've seen him coach, and I'm like, dude, he's a freaking, he's like a drill sergeant. Like, I've seen him talk to his students, and I'm thinking, like, damn, dude, it's one of those things where I'm like, him teaching the way he does will make somebody realize whether or not they want to fight or not, man. Yeah. Because he's like, you want this? Okay, boom. Let's go, you know, no break, no water, let's go, you know, and it's like, oh shit, like, and you gotta love it, man, because it's like I said, I mean, if you're not in it, you know, people are in the sport for a lot of different reasons, but somebody like Ray definitely will make them think twice, man, especially if they don't belong there, you know, so, I mean, I definitely, like I said, I look up to the guy. I mean, he's definitely made a name for himself. He's still growing in the sport, you know, with his businesses and his students, man, so I'm very proud of him, man. Good guy.
Hell yeah, he says some good stuff. Like the past couple of weeks, he's been saying like any bum can have a dream. That is true. Yeah. Any bum can have a dream. Yeah. But it's what you're gonna do to it. Like he said it, and ever since then for these past 2 weeks, it resonated differently in my body, man. I'm like, you're right. Any bum can have a dream. But the thing is, I ain't no bum. Yeah. I'm the greatest in the world. I'm gonna get that title.
Oh yeah, man, dude, for sure, man. Yeah. You see, and I mean, obviously in the sport, man. I mean, what have been some of the good times that you've had, like training with people, man? I mean, somewhere that you sparred with, and you were like, oh man, like it made you a better person, you know? I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure it's every day, but I mean, are there like certain times?
Yeah, I can relay like 3 good times where I went rounds with somebody and it made me better. I want to say last weekend I went some rounds with Dimitri Ivy, the Ivy brothers, and like we were it was. Start on the one person started on the top and then work your way up and you can strike from there. Yeah. So I was in his guard. He got up and we struck a little bit. It was even on the feet and then he took me back down and just helped like Khabib the heck out of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, no one's ever Khabib the heck out of me like this. But I remember just like feeling like, just felt I could feel in my body like, yo, I'm gonna get this man back next time. I cannot wait. So like next time he'll never hold me down. Another day in his life he'll never hold me down again. The very first time I ever sparred Max Halloway, I felt that at that time. I felt what it meant what it took to be the greatest.
Yeah.
And I seen the gap. Me and him is like, I'm over here, he's on the other side of that room over there. You know, I felt the gap. I was like, holy crap. But what I also realized is, I was like, that man ain't much better than me. Yeah. It's the truth. Like, he's just, I cut his arm, he's gonna bleed red just like I did. Like I said, at one point, if you take away the image of him being like a god and just like a normal man, if you shoot him, he's gonna drop dead. Yeah. That's what it is to me. That's how I look at it. He did that to me. I remember he beat me up, bro. He was hit me with a leg sweep, throw me down, let him pick me back up, and literally pick me back up and beat me up again, throw me back down and pick me back up. I'm like, God damn.
Was he in the UFC when you
Oh
met him?
yeah, this is
nice.
when that was when he fought. He was going to fight Volk the second time. So he was a man on a mission. Yeah, he was on a man on a mission.
So he really did beat you up.
Yeah, but he won that fight.
Ready, man.
Yeah, he won that fight in my opinion. Like, he was beating the brakes off me. Yeah. That whole he sparred me like 5. He beat the brakes off me, man. But and then one time his name is Martin Day. He used to be in the UFC. He was he's a bantamweight too. He got released maybe a few months ago. Oh man. But I remember the first time we sparred Martin. He liked the way I trained. And he has like a karate taekwondo background. Bruh, when I tell you I got liver kicked about 30-something times. He hit me with like 4 spank. I didn't know what to do because he had like a karate. I've never gone against a karate style, like a Wonder Boy style, a day in my life, man. A day in my life.
Is he a tall guy?
No, he's like my height. He just has like a good karate stance.
Yeah,
he beat the brakes off me with that karate stance. And like, those 3 times that I will never forget, especially at the Dimitri one, because it just happened last week, so it's fresh. I grew I just grew. Yeah. And I know after that time with Dimitri, I knew I grew again. I knew I just grew.
Keep growing, man. Mm-hmm. You see, and I gotta say, because I mean, back when I started, I mean, we used to spar, man, and the first time I got liver kicked, man, it was one of those, like, I got caught and I kind of like, okay, and then I just dropped, bro. Like, it just, like a split second later, I'm on the floor and I'm thinking, shit, like, I mean, it was a good one, man. And I know they hurt, so I mean, I can only imagine 30 kicks, bro, because that's like, you'd be peeing red for a few weeks, right?
And what made it worse, I had like a sweatband on. I was like 170 pounds. I was trying to cut some more weight or whatever. Yeah. So he was kicking it. I could feel like the thing like ripping across my body, adding pain to it. Man. I was like, what the heck, man?
Damn. You see, man, and let me ask you this, man, because right now, I mean, you do train in mixed martial arts.
Yes, sir,
do you train in jiu-jitsu as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And with the gi or without?
This Wednesday was my first time to gi. I always did no gi. My whole night, I've always done no gi. This Wednesday just passed, Ray told me, man, you throwing the gi, you're coming in here, and I throwing the gi. And I remember, like, the very first guy I started rolling with, he was grabbing my collar. I was like, this mother, in my head, he's cheating. Like, what are you doing, man? He's cheating. I got mad in my head, and I was like, no, he can do it. Then I realized that. I was like, well, I can choke him with his, too. Yeah. And then it became fun. I was like, okay, now this is fun right here.
No, and then it's funny you say that, man, because, yeah, I mean, when I first started, the first thing I tell people, the first thing you learn is how to tap, man, because they're like, shit, they're pulling everything, and, I had never rolled with the gi in my life, man. So when I started training myself, it was interesting. But I mean, the first thing I learned was how to tap. But it was a defense, and then of course you start learning on offense, and then that's when you start kind of picking up tricks, man. But I mean, yeah, it's like in tournaments. For example, you say that somebody's competing, and your opponent's coach is like, oh, grab his leg, and you're kind of like, oh shit, he's gonna grab my leg. You kind of stop it, man.
Yeah.
But is it like that for you, man, when you're training? I mean, because I'm pretty sure they coach each other just to kind of like, hey, do you ever use that against them, like?
No, not really. I'm pretty fair. I tap when they have like it locked in a good position. You got it. You won, bro.
No, yeah, and of course, I mean, you're training, so of course you're not out there to take a limb or pull people out, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, man. As far as being here in San Antonio, man. I mean, what have you been involved with? I mean, have you been to a lot of fights here locally or jiu-jitsu tournaments?
Since I've been back, I've been going to like smokers. I've been doing a lot of smokers and kickboxing matches since I've been back here, just to stay fresh, until I get a fight. I know Ray's looking for a fight for me right now, so I'll take a smoker just to stay active. Like I said, I stay in shape, man. I don't. It's like a WWE. There's no off season. You just keep going.
Bro.
Just keep going.
I just saw Halloway looking for an opponent, man. You want in or what? I'll put you out there, man.
Yeah, I'll fight him. I'll fight him again now.
Tell him I already sparred him for free. Man. True, man.
I'll fight him again now. I would like to fight him. I would like to fight him now to see how it would do. It's been a couple months. I think I beat the brakes off that.
Man, it'd be good to see, man, because obviously, like, man, I mean, it's kind of like when you go to another gym, you don't go 100% only because it's some, out of respect, you kind of just, but yeah, man, I mean, it'd be good to see how good you would do in an actual, like, hey, boom, let's go,
yeah.
3-minute round, dude.
Heck yeah.
And as far as your training, man, I mean, what else have you done as far as martial arts, man? Has it always been like MMA?
No, when I was like around from the ages from like 8 to 10, I did taekwondo. Me and my brothers, my dad, like he seen me get into a street fight. He said, "Son, you can't fight." And then took me and my brothers to like a taekwondo dojo like 5 minutes up the street, and I started doing that. Yeah. And from I liked it a lot. But like then we ended up moving to Houston, Texas. When I was younger, we went to Houston, Texas, and it kind of just stopped there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then we ended up bouncing around. Then we moved back to San Antonio. My oldest and youngest brother, they got back into it. They just picked up where they left off, But at that point, that's when I found MMA.
Yeah.
So I just,
You were like, okay, I'm going to try this over here, man.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, let me ask you this, because you did start in traditional. Was mixed martial arts, obviously, did it make sense even more? Because you're like, okay, I don't want to learn just how to punch and kick. Like, I want to learn how to wrestle, how to...
Yeah.
I mean, so at that time, was that what you were looking for?
Yeah, because outside of like doing taekwondo, I was like a big WWE fan.
Yeah.
So all the slamming and wrestling, I know that was the very first thing I ever wanted to do was be a wrestler. I always wanted to be in WWE, like, you know what I mean? Always wanted to do that. So the very first thing that ever got me to MMA was watching that movie Never Back Down. I remember I first seen that, I was like, oh man, this sport is dope. And then like, maybe, I remember that same day, me and my little brother, we were watching the very first UFC fight I've ever watched was Clay Guida versus Diego Sanchez. Ooh, that's a way to get you interested.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, that's a good one to watch.
It gets you interested in it.
Damn. Mm-hmm. And I mean, fighters like that, of course. I mean, Diego Sanchez is going to be fighting for the Eagle FC, I think, in March. I mean, going up the ranks, and I mean, what would be a dream fight for you, say, a year from now, man? You work your way up and you get an opportunity to fight a top fighter, man. Who would it be, man?
Any human being who knows me, I want to fight Aljamain Sterling.
Oh, shit.
I can't stand that guy. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to try to keep it at like a 2, because I don't like that guy. But like that guy, I don't care. If he comes to San Antonio and try to go rounds, I'm going to beat the brakes off that man. That man right there, the way he won the belt,
yeah, man.
My.
That was embarrassing.
He laid on his back, squirmed like a worm. Like the way I look at it, the way I look at fighting, I look at fighting like gladiators or like a samurai or something. Your village is cheering you off to go to battle. You got to go defend your village and everything like that. And you're losing. You're not winning the fight. Your best round was round 1, and you got dropped. So technically, you lost the round 10-9, and you were losing. You were not winning nothing, bro. You were losing the whole entire fight. Yeah, you got knee, but bro, you're in a fight. Get up. Get up. Get up. You're in a fight. Get up. You're not hurt. You're not. Get up. Come on, bro. Let's go.
And I gotta say, man, because Covington, I mean, of course, him and Usman go back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things that he said that kind of made sense was like, man, this is fighting. There's no breaks, there's no timeouts in fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're at war and you're going to war, you don't like, hey, hold on, wait, I hurt my knee.
Exactly.
Or, hey, and you gotta just bite your mouth guard and keep going, man.
And keep it going. Like he squirmed on the ground, blinking excessively, like as if he was going blind. Yeah. Bro, what the heck? Get up, bro. Like I don't. And Peter Yan just sitting there just like looking confused. Like he looked hurt. He looked hurt like, come on, I'm gonna lose my belt. And he lost his belt and he was winning the fight. That's not right. That's like going to court and like you're innocent, but you guilty as heck, bro. You still guilty of this. Like, man, you didn't even do I get it. But he's in a fight. Bruce Lee used to say the same thing. If you're in a fight, you train every part of your body when you're in a fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't condition your chin, but he was fine. He wasn't rocked. Yeah. He was milking it.
Oh yeah,
he's weak. And then afterwards he was toasting champagne as if he did. You didn't do anything.
Taking pictures with the belt.
That's like it's like a samurai falling on his own sword.
Yeah,
and you didn't win. He fell on his own sword.
Or getting an award for getting injured by your own sword.
He got a petition.
Step yourself, but here's the medal.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
Man, and I will say this, man, because even like on that fight, I feel like it should have been a no contest. Mm-hmm. Like I feel that they should just been like, hey, you know what? Because it just didn't make any sense, man. If it would have been a no contest, I guarantee you he would have been fighting again. But exactly. No, he's injury after injury, and You know, he's milking it for what he can, man. And I mean, if he's trying to make money off of it, I don't know if he is, but like sponsorship wise, but I'd be embarrassed to sponsor the guy. Be like, oh yeah, he's a UFC champion. They're like, no, he's not.
Hey, let me call my shot real quick too, though. So I'm gonna call this shot. If he does make it to the fight in April with Petr Yan, I don't think he will make that fight. I think he's gonna pull out last second. But if he does make it to the fight, he's gonna get knocked out. He won't fight for about a year and a half.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And by a year and a half, I will be there. And I'm gonna get that man. I'm gonna be his first fight back. I guarantee freaking you.
Let's do it, man.
I'm gonna be his first. I want to be his first. I want to annihilate that man. And like everybody, I want to knock him out. Me personally, I don't care for knockouts. That's a treat.
Yeah, that's an easy.
Me, I like to break a grown man. I want to beat the brakes off you for 5 rounds. 3 rounds. Just beat you from pillar to post. So you know you can't do anything. I want you to go back to the drawing board and realize, am I cut out for this sport? I want to do that to Al. I'll pull the man by his hair. I'll bite. Bro, I will hurt Aljo if you give me a chance. I will hurt Aljo if you give me a chance.
Man, and you know what? I mean, something like that is possible, man, because, I mean, you work your way up the ranks. Say, you know, we got a Fury Fighting Championship. I mean, you fight for a promotion like that on UFC Fight Pass. You get picked up in a year. You know, if he's still out or if he's still out there playing the victim or playing the, you know, hey, man, why not, man? I mean, tell him, hey, you know what? It's my UFC debut. Let's use me and then just beat the hell out of him.
Heck yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, the whole concept, dude. I mean, the fact that he won, I mean, everybody felt that same way. You know, everybody's been blowing them up on social media as far as their feeling. You know, the fact that he won the way he did, or he didn't win. That's the thing. He didn't win. They felt sorry for him. Okay, well, here's the belt, man. You know, it was a bad shot, and it's just, it doesn't make any sense, man. But with that being said, man, I mean, of course, you're training, man. How often do you train these days?
Oof. I train about 2 times a day. Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'll train 1 time on Saturday. Usually it's like sparring at the gym.
Right.
Like, I usually get that in. If we don't, I don't think we're sparring this weekend, so I'll probably go do my own thing or get some sparring in at another gym, like a brother gym or something like that. But on Sundays is a rest day. I gotta just lay there, recover. Your body's hurting.
Now that you mentioned Sunday, because I was asking Chris Kunchak, and I always ask these fighters, because obviously Fury Fighting, they have their contract to where they have to have it on Sunday. And for me, it's one of those days where I'm just like, man, I want to go home, put my feet up, relax, you know, and it's got to be like a mental, for me, it would be like a mental block for me to have to, like, I'm home, you know, you got to fight today. I'd be like, shit, you know, my body's shut down, my mind's shut down, but it's just, I mean, it's got to be hard, man. I mean, these fighters, of course, a lot of them do spar on Sundays just so they can kind of get that block out of the way and be able to perform on a Sunday. But, I mean, like Chris mentioned earlier, man, I mean, it's not only on Sunday, but it's early in the day, and it's kind of like, bro, I gotta go have lunch, bro. Like, hey, you know, it's just tough, man. But I mean, I give it to them because these guys show up and perform. Are you gonna be at the fights Sunday?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Heck yeah.
And of course, I mean, you guys have a lot of teammates on there, man. I mean, I know he had mentioned a lot of guys fighting for Peak Fighting as well. And I mean, it's got to be good when you have people like that are on a competitive level, man, because obviously they keep you fresh, they keep you on your toes, and you're able to do the same. You know, keep them on point, man.
Heck yeah.
And let me ask you, I mean, of course you're going to be rooting for your teammates at Fury, man, but there's a couple of fights on there. Of course, we have Richard Odoms. He was out there training with you guys, but he's going to be on the card. And, I mean, he's coming back from a loss. His opponent, London, of course, he's the same thing. They both are coming in from a loss, man. But what do you think about that fight, man? 2 big heavyweights going at it, bro. I mean, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Somebody's getting knocked out? Or?
It's the gorillas going at it. When heavyweights fight, it's gorillas. Someone's always getting clapped in a heavyweight fight.
No, definitely, man.
Like, yeah.
And did you get to roll with Richard Odoms?
Yeah, I did, and he would just throw me around like a rag doll, like I was toilet paper. He would laugh when he would sweep me. He would laugh. I'm like, all right, bro.
Take it easy, man. It's not the fight, bro. But you see, and I always ask that because I mean, of course, you're training and you're kind of taking it easy as far as sparring, but. I mean, what do you think? What do you put his level at, man? I mean, you think he's gonna give his opponent the fight of his life come Sunday?
He gonna beat the brakes off that man. He gonna hurt that man. That's a powerful man. That's a powerful man.
I've seen him spar, like before, years back. I would see him spar, man, and just the fact that he's got that reach, and I've seen him tag people like just and stun them. Where I'm looking at him, and the guy's kind of like, and you can tell Richard's like, hey, hey, you okay? You okay? But it's just because his arm's so freaking reach, that reach, bro. It goes right through your head, It's just kind of like, but yeah, man. The fact that it's gonna be two freaking giants going at it, man. When him and of course, he fought the Kraken, Juan Adams, and Juan Adams took him down, and just basically, it was a tough week for Odom. So I'll give him that. His wife was in the hospital, and he was just going through a lot mentally. But I see him fresh, man. I see him hungry, man, and it's gonna be one of those fights that I don't want to see, but I gotta see.
Heck yeah!
I'm gonna be like cover my face and kind of peek, man. But yeah, man. It's gonna be, I am local to San Antonio. the guy, I've known the guy for years through the sport. I was there when he made his pro debut, man, and even then, he had talked about he was doing he was getting paid for boxing. He was doing boxing professionally. So the state basically told him, like, no, you gotta go pro, man. Like, he didn't even get a chance to do amateur fights because...
Wow.
And he, like he said, he had to learn with his fights. That's when he was getting his sparring in, man.
What?
But, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
And it's amazing because it's just like, damn, dude, like, his wrestling wasn't there. He started learning wrestling. He started training with, Rodrigo Pinedo and just kind of, like, everywhere, man. And it's just like, it's amazing that he's able to have gone as far as he has. Because at one point, he did get picked up by the UFC, man. Got an eye injury. The doctor removed him, and the UFC cut his contract, bro.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so it was like one of those, like, he made it, but he, you know what I mean? They cut him. I believe, and he mentioned that at one time, because after that was when they kind of dropped the age limit for the UFC. Like, they were like, hey, you can't be older than, and that was Richard. He was past that age, and he was just like, damn, dude, like, now he's not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, but he's out there. He's the first legacy fighting championship heavyweight.
Yeah, I see.
He's fought former heavyweight title holders, man. And, for me, during that fight with Juan Adams, I was hoping, just because of him, I was just like, dude, I hope he gets that title, man. That way, if he decides to retire or call it a day, it'd be like, at least he's got those to look at, look up to, man.
I would like to see him go with Derek Lewis. They both are just like...
I know, bro. You see, and that was one of those fights, because obviously during that time, Derek got picked up and went his own way. But yeah, that was one of those fights you kind of was like, damn, I wish I would have seen that when they were both here, man, because... so some of them go different paths. That would have been a good one, man. Now, as far as the training partner, man, of course, you said you train out there, USA. Have you been able to cross train? Other than the Ivy brothers, of course. Have you trained with anybody else?
Yeah. When I first came out here, I used to train down at what's it called? Saldivar Martial Arts. Is like on the west side, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they traditionally had like more traditional karate.
Right.
So like I said, like after I got got pushed in by Martin because of his karate stance, I was like, well, I need to see if I can deal with more of a karate style. And they all have like that karate wide stance, Wonder Boy style.
Yeah, bro.
So I learned to deal with that style. Like with my style now, how I have it, it counters that style. I can counter a good karate person. Nice. And I like that. And I think in order to be good at fighting, you have to experience all styles. You know what I mean? Like every gym has a set style. But you have to go experience all. Like at American, I can go beat an American top team fighter because I trained that style, and I know exactly what they're gonna do when they come at me.
Right.
So the fact that I've trained in Hawaii, Florida, Tennessee, and here, I've dealt with those kind of styles. So I'm prepared for those styles. So I prepared for those styles that come my way. That's why I always say, because I know Izzy's coming to America. He's gonna move to Vegas.
Yeah. I'm
gonna go train with Izzy when I'm gonna get a couple rounds in over there. Like I wanna experience that.
He's got that style, man.
Exactly. I need to experience that style. I need to experience. See. So when I find an opponent, that ain't nothing new to me. I already seen that. Yeah. Let's go.
And I gotta say, man, because we have other platforms. Of course, not just mixed martial arts, but we have Triad Combat, like in Houston. It actually got postponed, man. They sent me the email earlier. Wow. But it's more of a dirty boxing. They're pitting like UFC, former UFC fighters against pro boxers.
Yeah.
But a platform like that, would you be open to something like that?
Heck yeah.
That would be freaking dope as shit, dude.
Heck yeah, like I say, my boxing, I learned from a boxer. The same boxer who trained Joanna and Dustin Poirier's I had the same boxing coach. I remember everything he's ever taught me from ground up.
Yeah. So
when I first started joining, he made me stick to boxing first. He's like, hey, don't go do Muay Thai first. Stick here for boxing. So he made me stick on his boxing for like 6 straight months.
Ooh.
Then he said, "And now you go add your kicks."
Dude, that's actually smart because I mean, you don't want to cheat yourself from because especially I mean, Muay Thai they have hands, but it's mostly elbows, knees, and kicks, right? So
like Cowboy Cerrone ain't got hands. He got nice feet though.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say he's knocking people out left and right, man.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, of course, Tri Combat I mentioned. I mean, there's one and I've been kind of keeping up with it, man. Karate Combat.
I've heard about
something
that.
like that, dude. I mean, dude, those things are freaking lethal, bro. Like they're knocking freaking literally each other out, and it's one of those I gotta say because it's karate, so you kind of I guess you should know what's coming, but I mean, people are still getting caught. So I'm like, dude, what kind of karate they training, man?
Heck yeah.
But I mean, something like that, man. Would
I'm
you
interested. I'm very interested. Like I would like to see. I know it's like been talks. I don't know if it's very true, but like since I want to be the greatest, I hope they bring mixed martial arts to the Olympics.
Dude, that would be something, man.
You know what? To make it to the Olympics means you're the best.
Yeah.
And I just want. That's all I want. I just to prove that in front of the world, like that. If that ever does happen, I will strive for that at all times, and I will not stop.
You see, and I gotta ask because, wrestlers, of course, we mentioned earlier, man, they get the gold medals. Judo, they get the gold medals, and a lot of them are coming to the UFC or have fought in the UFC or MMA for that matter. But it'd be crazy to get a mixed martial arts gold medalist, and then jump over. You know what I mean? Like that would be pretty interesting, man. Because obviously you're like up there now. Everybody's like, oh shit, I gotta knock this guy down. You know, so. I mean, obviously, you're up for you're up to, like, somebody comes at you, of course, like you say, you're not going to say no. But the test, you're up to the test for somebody to come in and test you and be like, yeah, man, I mean, I'm not, you're here to learn, so of course, you're willing to freaking spar everybody, man.
I like the challenge, and I know, like, last year they're talking about opening up a new fight organization that's not like the UFC, but it's ran like a basketball or NFL league. It's like, you have your team, there's, like, multiple teams, and they fight against each other. And I'm like, yo, like, that's cool. Like, it's like 4 guys against 4 guys against 4 guys, but one-on-one each night, you know what I mean?
No, definitely. Just
and I'm like, yo, I like me and my team against your team. I like that. You know what I mean? Like, all 4 of us gonna beat on them tonight. Like, let's show what we can do. I like that rather than just me fighting tonight and y'all cheering me on. Like, bro, I'm alone tonight. You know, like,
you want to fight? No, No, but I mean that would make sense, man, because it's kind of like what you guys are doing now. Because you have a lot of people, teammates. I mean, it's got to be cool when you got other people on the same card. Because now you're like, hey, well, it's not just me. It's kind of like I got 2-3 guys with me, and yeah, man. I mean that would definitely be interesting, man. For a minute, I thought you were gonna talk about one of those Russian MMA 5-on-5, bro.
Hey, that's just pure.
Yeah, dude.
That's street fighting.
I've seen that, and man, I feel bad, bro, because it's like. You're here fighting and somebody's from behind you. Like, dude, like I'm just like, you know what? That's assault, man. Like, that's not even a fight, but it's just. I mean, the Russians freaking love it, dude, and it's just. I'm not a fan of that. I've seen clips and I'm just like, bro, like I can't see that kind of crap, dude. It's just. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, man. But I mean, of course, like the Russians, they got tag team MMA. I mean, that's freaking nuts. But I don't know, man. I mean. People are willing to watch, hell.
You be seeing the press conference, I think, for like a Russian league called HFC, how they be fighting during the press conferences and stuff like that.
I saw that the other day, and I saw it with no audio, and I was just watching the clip, and I thought it was like a weigh-in. Like, I was just like, oh shit, this guy's just gonna, and no, it's, we're talking, and out of nowhere, get up and freaking drop kick somebody, dude. Like, I mean, that's just like one of those things that I'm like, why? You know, but they got Pillow Fighting Championship. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've just seen it. I was like,
and
what?
I was like, dude, I can do that. And then I saw these guys fucking swinging. I was like, yeah, I can't do that, man. They're freaking throwing the pillow like freaking like a jackhammer, man. But it's just like I said, there's different platforms, man. And the fact that people are watching and they want to watch this, I mean, more power to them, man. But it's just. Yeah. I mean, for me, it had to be one-on-one. It had to be one at a time, and let's keep the sport like that.
Yeah, classy.
Yeah, man, because it's just like 5-on-1, and then card jitsu. That's another one.
Bro, I seen that too. Like what?
And I'm thinking like, dude, I see that doing every day I'm driving. I see road rage, and I'm thinking, yeah, these guys are doing card jitsu, man. Like, they're fighting and shit. I mean, it's just nuts, bro. But. I mean, when it comes to like traditional one-on-one, I mean, of course, I mean, would you want to try boxing? Would you want to try kickboxing? Would you want to like do platforms like that?
Heck yeah, I like dreams are dreams. So like I would like a go kickboxing thing. That'd be pretty freaking dope. Boxing, hey, I do boxing. I like the sport of sweet science, but I'm more interested like as I dig deeper into MMA. I'm more into like Valley Tudo, how you were talking about Valley Tudo. Like there's this guy I found on Instagram. His name's like King Deluxe. Yeah, King Deluc. And like I watch his videos and he's gruesome. He does headbutts and everything. Like, oh my! And I was like, yo, like the more I dig into the sport, I'm like, yo, that looks.
No, yeah, man. Because I mean,
like
back in the day with Brazil, especially, dude, you had guys like Mark Coleman headbutting the shit out of people, winning fights because of headbutts. And it's like, you know, it kind of goes back to. Let me ask you this: Pride, you know, they had their platform and they allowed soccer kicks. Are you a fan of that?
Big fan.
You see, and let me ask you, why is that? I'm curious, because I got my own reasons why I like that also, but...
I mean, to an extent, like, in the UFC, even though it's, like, it's the greatest platform for fighting, it is. Right. Truth matter, it is. But, like, when you're standing in somebody's guard and you're over them, they can up-kick you. Like, why can't I stomp on you? Yeah. Like, you know, that's not like he can hit me and knock... Yeah, I seen James Vick go to sleep in a man's guard because he got up-kicked. Yeah. Like, if I can stomp my foot on you, he has more force than I have force. I want to feel like
stepping on the cockroach, man. But you know what? I never thought about that. But yeah, that makes sense because I mean the up kicks, dude. Who was it? Murilo Bustamante when he fought. God, man, what's his name from Lions Den? He fought him in Brazil. Bolander.
Yeah.
Dude, and that was an up kick, and he caught him flush, and he just melted. Like, he was out, bro. And I'm thinking, like, damn, like that's a game changer, man. Mm-hmm. And the reason I was asking you why you thought kicking a down opponent was a good thing for me is because it opens up more opportunity, man. Like it's just like in jiu-jitsu. If I'm playing guard and I'm just on the guard, it's like, dude, start allowing smacks. You know, like combat jiu-jitsu. Open the guard. I mean, keep them from freaking just
holding.
Staying. Yeah, like that's freaking boring as hell, dude. But it's just the same thing with MMA. It's just if I'm here and I'm just on my back and just kind of blocking, it's like, nah, dude. You know what? Kick him. Go ahead and kick him.
It gives him urgency.
Yeah.
Move.
The fight interesting, man, because it's just.
It goes back to Aljo. He was playing the rules, putting his hands on the ground. I'm not getting up right now. And I remember when his former teammate, I don't know if he couldn't fight no more because he broke his leg, Chris Weidman. I remember he was fighting Gegard Mousasi. Yeah. He was beating Gegard in the first round. In the second and third round, Gegard started beating the brakes off him. And Gegard had him in the headlock. He started putting his hands to the ground. He started eating knees. And then they stopped the fight. But they gave the win to Gegard because he was losing. He was losing. Man. Mm-hmm.
You see, but I mean, because of those, I mean, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Allow movement. I know the refs. I mean, it depends, I guess, which promotion you're in, because sometimes refs like stand it up right away, and sometimes they freaking let it go for a minute, and it's like, dude, like it's not.
Heck yeah.
They're not moving anything. They're not active, so get them back up. But you see, and that's kind of the reason why, because it's just if I'm fighting somebody and he's just, you know, it's gonna better his position from standing it back up. Like, I'd rather it be in my favor. He's not fighting. Well, I'll kick him. I'll stomp on him, and then if he gets up and staggers, then that's on him.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but that's one of the things I don't like about restarts. It's just kind of like now this guy, he's walking to the cage, and of course he's catching his breath. He's getting his mind right. He turns around and he's ready to go. And it's like, nah, bro. Like, you know what? He was in a bad spot, man. Like,
heck yeah. That's why I like one championship. They're going in the right direction with it, man. They like Demetrius Johnson. He got knocked out by then. He didn't trip. He's like, yeah, this is the rules, man. I got knocked out. Like, exactly. Like, that's the way you got to be about it. Be humble about it. That's why I like. I think DJ is probably like top 3 greatest of all time. Might be number 1 of all time. But like when he lost, he took it like a man. He took it like a man. He took
that loss and he's back out. You know, he's like, let's go down to the next one.
Now he got to fight Rod Tang, and that crazy matchup they got to do. That's okay.
It's one of those like, that makes you think, man. But I will say this, man, because even like ONE FC, I'm definitely a huge fan of that promotion. One of them is the Muay Thai matches they have with 4-ounce gloves, bro.
God.
Like that, I like because now it's like, oh shit, like that shit hurts. You know, of course with the 8-ounce and all that, you still feel it, but man, 4-ounce glove, bro.
You really feel it.
Now you gotta move. Now, I mean, of course, ONE FC, another promotion I've been a huge fan of. I mean, of course, we got Bellator, but PFL.
I love PFL.
PFL is, they're actually doing like this new Challenger series, and I've been keeping up with it, man, and it's interesting as hell, dude, because it's kind of like a tournament style, of course, you know, so it's like the more you win, and then you hit that big paycheck and get that $1 million, man. It's like, dude, why not, bro? Like, I would fight for $1 million, man, like, literally. Yeah. But, I mean, it's good platforms, man. I mean, the fact that, I mean, you got BKFC, you know, bare knuckle boxing. You've got the Game Bred fighting with the bare knuckle MMA. I mean, those are outlets that if I'm a fighter and I'm at my peak where I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to fight. Like, why not, dude? Why not? Why wouldn't I fight in, you know, Masvidal's freaking promotion and bare knuckle boxing, and it's just like, dude, I mean, I'm here to make money, I'm here to make a name, but yeah, dude, I mean, I'd be shoot, man. I mean, I always tell people, man, it's just like if I was in shape and I was training, I would be waiting up for one of these people that are like, oh, we need a last minute replacement. I'd be like, dude, I'll do it for 5 and 5, bro. Like, pay me and I'll fucking go out there. Like, give me 10,000. It's just I would stay ready, man, because there's paychecks out there to be made, and I mean, of course, every promotion's got contracts and you got to sign, and but it's just like, dude, I would stay unsigned just for that, just to get opportunities to go out there and
that's smart. That's smart. I remember, like, speaking of like PF, I actually ran into Ray Cooper right after he won his $1 million thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right. I remember it was like at a smoker in Hawaii. He just won, and I was looking. I was like, that looks like Ray Cooper, man. Like maybe I'm tripping, but you don't want to be too starstruck about it. You don't want to just, hey, you Ray Cooper, bro.
You got money? Let me see your
So I just went on my phone. So I pulled up my phone, Google Ray Cooper. I was like, yeah, that's Ray. And I went up to Ray and I was like, how you doing, man? What you doing? I'm finna go to Disneyland. I was like, that's a good line right there, bro. That's a good line there.
But yeah, man, because I'm a fan of his dad. I mean, of course, his whole family's fighting, dude. It's just in Hawaii, and that's one thing I always hear is that they're always fighting, man. And it's mutual. It's just like, we fight, okay, we're good, and go about your day, man. But did you notice that out there?
Like in Hawaii, like fighting is life. Like how do I put it? Like Texas is about tacos.
Yeah.
Hawaii is about fighting, bro. Like everyone knows how to fight. Like I remember. I want to say back in like July, I was driving home, and in front of me was this little white Camry, like a 1993, and in front of that was a big Chevy lifted truck. And in Hawaii, they like to lift trucks like they do in Texas.
Oh,
lift them high with their big Samoan stickers and stuff on the back of it. And there was this guy, he was tailing, he was honking the horn, beeping, and I was just like, bro, I don't think this is gonna end well. And bro, we're on a highway. The truck stopped, he stopped, and I had to slam on my brakes because I was looking down. I was changing my song to my music, and I stopped, and out of that truck hopped 4 of the biggest Hawaiians, the size of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Hopped out, came to all 4 doors, and started punching punching the door.
Like Street Fighter and shit.
Yeah, he was scared, bro. He hit one and took off, bro. I was like, yo.
Damn.
Hawaiians, when it's time to fight, even kids from like the age of, they start training from like the age of 5. So when you go into a gym and you're sparring, you're fighting like a 14-year-old kid who got hands, bro.
Yeah.
It's humbling. Like,
it's gotta be.
It's humbling.
I'm just trying to get to school and getting beat up.
They have some savage, and they do a lot of Wako tournaments. They travel in packs, bro. Like Hawaii, it'd be like 50 guys on one team traveling to Tennessee to do the Wako tournament. Man, and they're cold. They have like a couple. I can name guys for days, but they have guys that are cold coming. But they have like two of their champions. One is, his name is Joven. He's like 16. He's like 12-0 for a kid. Yeah, he's 12-0. Then they got another guy named Taz. Taz is like, he's my weight class. He's like the champion. Taz is cold, and Taz has a brother who fights for Golden Gloves. He's a boxer. His name is Dallas. I can't even say like Kalipui. He's cold. Like, they're bred from birth to fight. They're
literally.
Good.
You see, and that's one of the things, man. Because I've worked with people that were from the island, and they're I had this one guy at the post office, man, and first time I met him, I said, hey, man, how you doing? He's like, hey, bro, hey. He started talking to me, and I was like, hey. And I'm like, hey, where are you from? And he said, oh, the island, bro. Hey.
Hell yeah.
And we started talking about MMA, and it's funny because every time I see him, because the first time we were talking about MMA or mixed martial arts or UFC, he was all like, oh, hey, BJ Penn, bro. And I'm like, yeah, dude, he's good. So every time after that, bro, every time I see him walking by, he'd be like, hey, BJ Penn, bro. And I'm like, yeah, BJ Penn, like, but it was just, I mean, it was cool because you could tell how much pride he had on that, man. But it's just, it goes to show, like, these guys, I mean, when they get to it, man, they don't play, man. I mean, they're out there. I mean, Super Pro. I don't know if you've ever seen those fights from Hawaii. Like, I was a fan of those back in the day, and seeing the Hawaiians going out there and actually, the Islanders going and putting on the beating, bro. You're kind of like, shit, bro. Like, I mean, they're there to fight, man. Even when they're losing, they're fighting. Like,
oh my. And they're tough. They're all and they like the Hawaiians like to exchange in the pocket. They like to just sit in the pocket and that's how my style is now. I gotta, you know what I mean, adjust a little because that's what I was used to. Just sit in the pocket, stay in the pocket, and you gotta
get that opening and
yeah, but that's how we are.
Damn, dude. Well, you see, and how long were you out there, man?
I was out there for 3 years. 3 years.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great experience. I'd say like Hawaii is probably like the best experience of my life.
And you were still in the military when you were out there?
Yeah, I was in the military. As soon as I moved out here, I got out.
Okay.
I called it quits.
That's enough, huh?
Yeah, I called it quits with them, man. I got to experience Hawaii. That was amazing. That was amazing in and of itself. Like the island is nothing but like, as far as like, you can go around the whole island in 2 hours. So like so when I came back here, I started doing road trips because I was like, I ain't been on a road trip in 3 years.
Yeah.
So I drove to Florida, came back. I've just been driving everywhere I go. I don't hop on a plane no more. I just drive there now, man.
Damn.
Heck yeah.
Man, I gotta say this. I had a customer one time. I mean, I was doing delivering furniture, and I was talking to him, and I was just like, because it was on the south side, you know, I was dropping off furniture. And I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, like, dude, this guy's like from Hawaii, man. He had that look, and I asked him, and I said, hey, where you from, man? And he's like, oh, I'm here in the South Side. And I was like, yeah, but where are you from? And he's like, man, I grew up here. Like, you know, and I'm like, dude, I said, bro, you look Hawaiian, bro. And he's like, dude, bro, he says, I was in the military. He said, I was in Hawaii. And man, I had people like, hey, who's your family, bro? He's all like, no, I'm from Texas. And he was just there like, nah, you're the islander, bro. You know, what family, bro? What family, you know? And he was just like, nah, bro. Like, and he said, dude, it was good and it was bad because people kind of like, I guess, where you from or where you know. And, but he would tell me, and I was just like cracking up because I'm like, dude, that's gotta suck, dude. I mean, but it's just like people wanting to fight him because they thought he was like related to somebody out there, man. And I'm just thinking like, damn, dude. But it was just, I just had to bring that up because I thought about that when I was doing the whole, you know, BJ Penn thing, man.
That's how it is out there. You get into trouble on foreign land, you ain't leaving, bro. You ain't leaving. Like, the island was so small. Say you owe like 10 grand, they can call the airport. Don't let them leave, bro. Why? It's like some mobster stuff.
No, it's dude, I mean, especially, you know, that's their island, bro. I mean, that's like one of those, I know years back, in California, for example, man, they were saying like locals only. They used that term like locals only. Like if you weren't from that area, like you get beat up, dude. And it was like surfers or skaters or whatever. But they kept it tight knit to where it was just like if they saw you skateboarding by and they didn't know who you were, they'd confront you, man. Be like, hey, where are you from, dude? Like, but it's just like the island. I can only imagine. You know, it's like literally their island, and it's like, hey, man, you're out there visiting. You're a guest. You know, it's like you don't want to piss people off, man. But I mean, what else do you have going on, man? I mean, you said Ray's actually looking for a fight for you.
Yes, sir.
And at what weight class?
135.
135.
Heck yeah.
And I mean, when it comes to 135, of course, man. I mean, everybody talks cardio for days. How's your cardio, man? Are you good for gas?
I can go for days. I can go for days. Like I said, I train like some guys. They fight and then they take like a couple weeks off. No, I mean, I'll keep going. I'll keep going, bro. I think if I always say, like, if you gave me speed, power, or cardio, I'm going to take cardio. Yeah, bro. And, like, in that sense, like, in a football player, for a wide receiver, you say you want hands, speed, or strength, I'm taking the hands. Yeah. Yeah, the same thing to me, hands and cardio. Like, if I can outlast you, I'm going to beat you. Like, I look at it like I say, gladiators. Yeah. If you're you have to fight me to kill me. You're not just GSP me and point the heck out of me. You have to kill me to beat me. You have to kill me to beat me, bro.
You see, and let me say this, man, because at no point, when I was training, at no point was that close to anybody's level when it came to, like, fights and stuff. But one of the things that I used to do a lot was cardio, bro. Like, I used to go swim, I used to go run, I used to go work out, I did jiu-jitsu, I did, you know, and that was my best weapon. Because I would go with guys that were, like me, working 8 to 5, but they weren't doing cardio. So I'd gas them out and choke them out, dude. And for the longest time, I was doing that. And personally, like, mentally, I was just like, man, I got to keep my cardio up, man. Because one of my worst fears, and I always tell people, man, is for me to go and get my ass whooped because I got tired.
Yeah,
like,
bro, that's the
has
worst.
Got to be the worst freaking feeling. Like, what happened? Oh, I got tired. Like, what, dude? Like, no, man. Like, you know, I want to be able to move. I want to be able to, even if it's just like, hey, but yeah, man, that's my personal thing. Like, I'm just like, man, I would hate to, you know, say, hey, I got my ass kicked because I got tired.
Yeah,
like, nah, bro.
I like watching guys with, like, great cardio, like Belter Jan. Like, I like watching him because, like, he starts slow. Like, he's methodical. Like, the first 3 rounds. And then 4th and 5th round, if you're in there with them, you're gonna die.
No, you see, and that's what they call it, the championship rounds, too,
yeah,
because
man.
It's like, and you see it so many times where guys go 120, first round, second round, third round, they're gassed, bro.
Hands on the hips and stuff.
Yeah, you see, and it's like, it's stuff like that for me, man. I mean, obviously, like I said, I can't say, oh, they're not training right, or they're not, because I don't know, but obviously they're doing something wrong, man. Now, you know, like you said, they got to pick their shots. They got to kind of like, hey, not expert too much energy to where if I stun you and I go for the kill and I don't knock you out, then I'm like, fuck, you know. Bell rings and it's like, damn, dude, okay, now this guy's coming back because he knows I just freaking blew a wad and man. But yeah, it's got to be one of the worst feelings, man. But I mean, as far as what else do you do outside of training, man? I mean, as far as for cardio, man, you go bike riding, you go swimming.
Man, I do everything. I do a lot of HIIT training. I do like long runs, swimming, but it's been cold lately, so that's been great. But I do like long runs, HIIT training. I do hikes in Hawaii. I just do hikes all the time, man. Oh my god.
Well, how's the altitude up there, man? Is it like, dude,
that's why Max Halloway cardio fire, bro. That's exactly why cardio good, man.
And that's one thing I know, and I hear it too, man. I had this one lady that fought for promotion in Canada, man, and she was from the States. She went to Canada, and she was doing good. And she said, man, third round, man, I was just like cardio. I mean, it was just the altitude, man. It got to me, and I was just like, damn, like it. You can't fake that. Like you gotta train. Bro. You gotta go to New Mexico. You gotta go somewhere where maybe even shadow box here at the Tower of America. I don't know if that'll work, but hey, you gotta do something, man. But I mean, obviously, I mean, for something like that, I mean, what would you do, man? If you were to get a fight in Colorado and the altitude was up, like what would you do?
My training came in Colorado.
Smart.
The whole training came in Colorado. Like, hey,
go to the opposite gym. Be like,
yeah. I was hey, Coach Ray, we gotta go to Colorado, bro. Let's go grab a hotel.
Yeah, man, that would be smart because obviously you don't want to, you know what I mean? Like you don't want them to have that upper hand because they live there, so shit, they're bringing this shit every day, man.
Exactly.
Now, as far as I mean, you've been able to train everywhere in the U.S. Where outside the U.S. would you be willing to train, man? Like, say if you got a week to go train somewhere, where would it be?
Dang. Tiger Muay Thai in Phuket. Yeah, Phuket. Yeah, I was gonna say Izzy, but I was like, Izzy, come here. I'll get him. We get you. Come here. But in Phuket, man, they got some. They're fighting, bro. It's just like they're ferocious. Like Rafael Fiziev and Petr Yan and Kazmat just went over there too. They're ferocious. Dude, like it's ferocious, man.
I've seen those videos with Kazmat out there, man, and I'm like, damn, dude. Like, I mean, he can only get better, man. That's scary, because the guy obviously is. 100 mentally he's 120, like he's up there to where he's like I ain't losing on that, and who's to say he is, man? I mean, he's definitely a freaking force.
Kamaru got a problem with him, man. Everyone else he gonna beat him down, but when I seen Kazmat, I was like that's the best move Kazmat can make was going to get his striking. I was like, yo, Kamaru, man, dude. Like you got great hands, but he gonna have hands and feet. You know what I mean? Like in about a year time frame, that fight's gonna be something to behold, man.
Yeah. You see, and I know, like right now, I think I know at one point they said he was gonna fight Colby Covington, and that didn't happen. And then they have him fighting
Gilbert Burns.
Yes, I was gonna say he's fighting Burns, bro.
That's like I granted, he's a fighter's a fighter, but like that's like a 6-inch height advantage, like an 8-inch reach advantage. Like,
bro,
all right, Gilbert. If he wins it, I'll shut up. But like that, to me, that just doesn't look like a good matchup. I don't know, like
you see, and it's one of those because obviously, I mean. Gilbert being the shorter guy, I mean, he's going to want to go in deep and shoot in and use his jiu-jitsu, but against a wrestler, man, I mean, that's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like, well, you kind of have to take him down first, bro, and I don't see that, man.
I love the UFC because when they want to build you up, they're going to build you up.
Yeah.
And they're going to give you a favorable matchup that help you. And I was like, because Dana White, I guess he wants another Khabib.
Yeah.
And Kazmat is amazing, bro.
He's an evil Khabib, man. But yeah, dude, that guy's...
He wants to build him up. And like, Gilbert Burns, ranked number 2?
Yeah.
Take that man's spot, bro.
No, yeah, and that's how you do it. I mean, after this fight, I can see him fighting Colby Covington. If not, boom. If he's not ready or he doesn't want to. I know Usman at one point, man, like I think throughout his career, he's always talked about his knees and feet and having problems. And honestly, I didn't see him fighting this much longer because I was like, you know what, man, he's made a point. He's made a name. Like, I mean, if he were to retire and say, hey, I've done it all, like, I'm like, dude, who am I to say he hasn't? I mean, of course, there's going to be younger fighters, better fighters coming up. I mean, that happens. But, I mean, he wanted to spend time with his family. You can't blame him. He has a kid. He wanted to be dad. And I'm like, dude, I mean, I would say, like, yeah, man, just freaking cash in and, enjoy life, man.
Yeah, he's talking about he want to go up weight classes and stuff.
Yes, bro, I saw that, man. You see? Yeah, you see, and that's... I don't know, maybe, he feels like he's got to prove something to himself and, but it's just, when they start doing that, man, I'm kind of like, yeah, bro, why,
You're getting kind of greedy. Like, I feel like there's a point where greed just starts taking over.
Well, let me ask you this, man, and we'll wrap it up in a little bit.
No problem.
But when it comes to title holders, how do you feel about, like, you know, two division, like, two weight class champions, like somebody that's holding the belt, like Triple C, man, he's over here freaking the belt. Like, are you a fan of stuff like that, man? Like when people win the belt and then they want to go up a weight class, win the belt, and
You know, I kind of look at it like I have like a god complex. So like to me, a champion going to your planet, your universe to conquer you.
Yeah,
that's pretty like. That's ballsy. That takes some ball. Like that's like, to me, that's god tier stuff. Like that's amazing to do. Like, but I'm not interested in like conquering a man and his like I feel like that's a little too much. But I will do it. But Triple C, I'll say he took my concept and ran with it. Like bend the knee to me. I love that concept. The fact that he was able to do that, I'm like, hey man, you're the man. Yeah. And like just the fact that he did that, he is a top 5 all time. The fact that he did it, he I don't care how you feel about the guy, and look what he's doing. He got John Jones, Whaley over there. Yeah.
Bro, he's got everybody.
Mm-hmm. He is you know. But I personally don't think you need to do it. I think Conor did it, and now everybody's like on his tip about it. Yeah. Like it's kind of like a Conor McGregor copy. I'm tired of everybody copying Conor McGregor. I'm tired of Conor McGregor in and of itself now. Oh, yeah. I'm over that guy.
I'm pretty sure everybody is, man.
Mm-hmm. But like I like how he did it. I like that DC did it. Yeah. You know what I mean? They didn't do it. You know what I mean? I like how they went about doing it. Like they kind of retired after they did it. Like I achieved this. You know what I mean? Man. I feel like I personally believe once a man achieves his goal, he's done. Once Conor said I'm gonna win $1 million and win 2 belts. When he did that, he was done. Yeah. Like you literally met what you said you were gonna do. Like once you meet you're done. Like once I meet my goal, I'm going to walk away from the sport.
No, yeah, bro. I mean, it's like and I will say this, man. The reason I ask is because for me, when it comes to like, title belts, man. Amanda Nunes, of course, lost one of them, but it's just like it's like, you know what, man, you're kind of holding people back because you're not gonna fight every month to defend a title. Yeah. You're gonna wait 3 months, 6 months, and it's like everybody else is out there waiting like for their opportunity, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like, you know what, one title, 2 maybe, but not 3, bro.
I feel like all champs are supposed to defend the belt every 3 months. Yeah. Every 3 months they're supposed to defend the belt. So whenever they're doing like griping and complaining thing they got going on, man, you're a champ. Like for instance, Ngannou's situation, I'm not in the UFC, so I don't know his situation. All I know is he bickers with Dana. They want to strip him. They're filing like a law. They're trying to sue him now and stuff like that. Oh yeah. You know, like I feel for the guy, but like when he won the belt, he said, "What's the rush for me to defend it? You're the champ, bro. Yeah. You have to defend your belt every 3. I don't care what you got going on. You gotta defend your belt. Yeah. Or vacate.
Yeah. Defend, or retire. Yes. Or be like, hey, I'm done.
It's simple. Like if you don't want to be champ, if you can't handle that pressure, vacate it. You know what I mean? When I get to that point, if I can't handle the pressure, I'll keep it G with everybody. Like, bro, I don't want to do this. I cannot do this. Here, vacate.
But the fact that you're able to get that far and actually get the title, man, that's it. For me, that's enough, bro. I'd be like, shit, man. You know what? I spent 10 years of my life busting my ass, and now I got the opportunity to do this, and you do.
You're the greatest in your division. Like you can literally say, I'm the greatest in my division.
Yeah. Literally. Mm-hmm. You're up there. Unless you're what's his name, but yeah. Unless you win it by default, then you ain't crap.
Cried his way for the belt.
Yes, bro. You see, and that's just that's not right, man. But hopefully the fight does happen and he gets freaking wrecked and everybody can be happy. You know, I'm like,
forget that guy.
The guy is something else, dude. But they do fight, man. Do you see him losing the fight?
Who, Aljo? Yeah. He getting starched. He a quitter. He got quit at him, bro. Yeah. And Peter Yan.
Once you get that, bro,
Peter Yan ain't got quit. I've never seen that man. Watching all his fight, I've never seen that man show an ounce of quit. I've never Aljo, your last fight you shown you got quitting. I've never seen Peter Yan show an ounce of quit, bro.
No, not at all. You see, and that's kind of what separates the big dogs, man. Like once you quit or you say I don't know or you start doubting, like that's it, man. Like your body doesn't recover from that, man.
Heck yeah, you gotta be like. I understand that concept of mental toughness, man. I understand that concept now. Like you gotta be tough in this goal.
You have to, man, because it's not. You're getting punched in the face and kneed. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing you gotta dude. Like, I got I get a paper cut or I slipped and I hurt my knee. Like, nah, bro, that's the least of your fucking worries. You're getting in the face, bro. Like, you know what? Get up and freaking keep going, man. But yeah, it makes sense to that extent, bro, because I mean, if I get in the fight outside and, I mean, somebody's like, hey, I mean, I'm going to fight. I'm not going to be like, hey, hold on, man. Let me put on my shoes. Or, hey, let me change shirts. You know, it's like, nah, bro. You go fight.
You got to fight. You have
it's
to.
It's on, man.
Oh, my God. My wife, we were, the other day we were laying in bed. We just got like a new kitten, baby kitten. She's small. And she bites. She nibbles, right? And she bites in my hair and she'll grip it and she'll bite it. And my wife said, doesn't that hurt? I go, I get punched in the face every day.
I'd rather get bit by a cat.
If she bit like they hit, like this would be no problem at all. I'd be the greatest in the world right now, man.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but yeah, man, because I got 4 dogs at home. I got 2 puppies, and man, they bite, bro. And I'm like, fuck, you know, and I feel it, and I'm kind of like, but my thing is like, I don't know, I never thought about it that way, but they're biting, and I'm like cool with it because I'm like, and it hurts, but they're not like drawing blood or anything, but it's just
tolerable,
like,
right?
Yeah,
it's
like
tolerable.
It's just like, man, I mean, and it's funny you say that too, man, because I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I told my youngest, you know, because she was like, oh, Dad, I didn't go to work because I was feeling sick, and I was like, baby, you know what I do when I feel sick? And she's like, what? And I said, I go to work. I said, you know what I do when I'm tired? I said, I go to work.
Yeah.
I said, and then my mindset is like, you know what, dude? I mean, I've done so much, like shit, so many shit jobs in my life for peanuts, like where I didn't get paid anything, that if I'm in a situation and I'm always like, you know what, it can be a lot worse, bro.
Yeah.
Like I've been in the cold, freaking standing there in the middle of nowhere, hungry, starving, just because of construction, and I'm having to hold a sign and get paid for it, and it's just like, dude, I've been in the worst of the worst, and it's just like, man, it can be a lot worse, and I've been there, bro.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's one way to look at it, man. I'm gonna think about it next time, man. But I mean, I'll be like, oh, I remember that damn dog biting me, man.
After we getting punched in the face, I remember like when I was in the Army. We would go on long runs, like we were going like what 5? They ain't even long, man. The Army think 3 mile runs are long. They punks. like we were going like 4 mile runs, and like I remember one day. This is like back in 2018. We're going like a division run, like so everybody in the whole freaking one post is running together, and we're running, and there's just one sergeant. I'll never forget, what's his name? Man, I can't remember the dude's name. But he was cool. He was Ranger and everything. He was cool. And he was talking to this overweight soldier. His name was I think his name was Lugo. And we were running, and like he was talking to him. He was like, you know what progress is? We're like 4 miles in already. Everyone's like dripping sweat, breathing out their mouths. I remember he was right next to me. I could hear him, but I was focusing on the run because if I focused on the conversation, I would fall out the run. But I could hear him, and he was telling the soldier, he was like, you know what progress is? He goes, no, Sergeant. What's progress? He said, progress is made when you hit your limit. You hit this wall. And you feel like you can't go no more, but you go a little bit more each time. You just keep going. And when he said that, I was just like, yeah. They made so much. I was like, yo, like that's her progress. Yeah. It's just going a little bit further.
Yeah, because they're used to stopping every 30 minutes and that's it.
It's like an alcoholic. They know they limit, but they still gonna go. You know what I mean? Like that's progress, bro.
So way to go, buddy. You're like
that's progress. You know, like.
Dude, that's funny. But you know what, though, man? I like that because I used to jog a lot, dude. And, like, I used to bike ride, like, around town. And I remember I'd be out there and like, I would run into other joggers or other bicyclists. And they're like, hey, you know, we have a team. If you want to go, and we do so many miles a day. And I'm like, nah, man. Like, I'm okay. I'm cool. Like, I don't do it for miles. I would ride my bike as far as I could in the middle of nowhere. And then I'll be like, fuck. And I got to fucking ride all the way back. But that was the same thing I would do with jogging, man. Like, I would jog, bro, and I would get lost. Like, literally, I'd be jogging, and I'm like, where the f... And that's why I got to keep going, because now I'm like, where the hell's my car, or where's... You know, but it's just... It got me through that mental block to where now it's just like, you know what, I can't keep going.
I can keep... Yeah,
because it's just like I had a buddy of mine, and he started actually going jogging with me, and he was like, bro, well, let's go, you know, from here over here, it's like 1.7 miles, and we can come back. And I'm like, dude, let's go from here to... Let's see how far we can go, and then we'll come back. And he's just like, no, man, well, we gotta walk back. And I'm like, no, we're gonna jog back.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Like, let's just keep going, you know. And it's like, because of that, nobody went with me. After a while, like, everybody's like, no, man, I'm gonna go back, you know. And I never liked that because I never thought of it that way. But it's just because I didn't want to limit myself. I wanted to keep going to where it came to the point to where I was just like, you know what? If they were to say like, hey, there's like 1,000 people running this way, killing everybody. Like, I'm gonna run as far as I can.
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go to that building. Nah, dude, I'm gonna be like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna keep running, man.
Run to next city over.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And it's just like, I don't want to stop, man. And that's kind of like, I miss that, and it's, you know, I mean, years and years. Of course, now it's just like now, I'm not active like that, man. But it's just when I was, it was just like one of those things where I was just like, dude, I want to run. Like I would literally go park somewhere, and then I would freaking, because of the field, or there was more obstacles out there wherever, instead of running around the block. I never got that. But I would go out there and I'd be going through creeks and mountains and just freaking outskirts of Helotes or whatever. But I would go, and like by the time I got back to my car, man, it'd be like 4 hours, 5 hours. You know what I mean? And I would be like, shit, like I've been gone for freaking. And it was like, and I liked it, man, because there was no boundaries. And that's kind of what the way I see life is just like, dude, why am I gonna be so content with just being here? Like I want to go, man. I want to go all the way to freaking New York. I want to go all the way to California, and then go over the freaking ocean, and you know what I mean, like I want to get out there, man.
Heck yeah,
I mean, why stop, dude? Why do what everybody else is doing, right?
Heck yeah, I mean, I'll be like training sometimes, or during a match, I'll be like during it, I'll have like I'm having like a conversation in my head. I know most fighters probably, I'm pretty sure everyone does. They have like a conversation in their head where you're talking to yourself. Then there's a conversation that always happens. It happens all the time. It's like, are you tired? I'm not like, no, I'm not tired, bitch. I'm not tired, bitch. Keep going. I talk to myself. Keep going. And then there come to a point where I'm having this conversation where silence just hit, and then that's when I pour it on. And that's so like me personally, I used to believe, well, I still do, need to put yourself in situations so you can grow. So like in fighting, they want you to be tired, and they'll have like a fresh guy on top of you, beat the brakes off you. That works. That does work. But me personally, I feel like a life experience helps you. Yeah. Whatever you go through, that sharpens you better than being tired and getting beat up in the gym. Yeah. I personally feel like if you an empty stomach and empty pockets can teach you better than any man hitting you in the face, man. Yeah. Unless you've felt that, you don't. It's a different kind of hunger. Like I want it more than the man who has $1,000 in his bank account.
Has the latest equipment, has the latest, membership, and you're like, I just want to freaking.
Bro, I got, you know what I mean? Like, you probably got all that, but I guarantee I can kick your ass right now, bro. Like, I want it more than the man who has more than me, and that's my drive. Like, empty pocket and empty belly taught me a lot, man. It taught me, it made me a lot more hungrier, man. Yeah, and it has to, because even like with me, like I mean, I grew up in a family of 8, and we weren't poor. My dad worked himself to death, literally, man. But he was a working stiff, man. He was working he worked weekend just so that we can have what we have, you know. And growing up, it was all hand me downs, and it was just like, 8, 10 with mom and dad in the house, and 1 bathroom. So it's kind of like you kind of have to like time me, and like, oh crap, like everybody's asleep, like I'm gonna go take a shower. Like you got everything done, man. But it made me realize a lot of things, and one of them is that the world doesn't wait for you, man. Like you got to take your opportunity when you can. You got to grab what you can when you can, because just like I mentioned earlier, when I'm at the tournaments or I've been at the weigh-ins and I get opportunities to talk to people, it's because of that. Because it's like I might not see this guy again, man. Damn. I mean, he might be in Texas, but it's not like I'm driving out there to talk to the guy. Again. People say I might see him, like, but you might not ever. There's no rule book to life. There's no manual to this thing. The closest thing to a manual is the Bible, and that's if you believe it's your manual. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like, you gotta take all moments that come your way. Man, I've been blessed at all the opportunities I had, and you have too, man. Oh, yeah, you got to meet Cain Valletta and Alistair in his prime, bro.
You see, and that's just me sitting down. Talking and just like, how you doing, man? Oh, good. Just
that's freaking.
You didn't even know what to ask the guys, but yeah, I mean, I've been able to talk to everybody and anybody, and even just the fact that sitting with you guys and shoot, in 5 years, bro, I could be like, dude, that guy was in my freaking studio, and it's just like opportunities like that or moments like that for me that make me want to keep doing it, man. Because like with Ray, seeing them from as an amateur. From, you know what I mean? Just like fighters in general, man. And it's just like, damn, they're where they are now. And I'm like, dude, that's freaking motivating. Because it's like they didn't stop. They kept going. Fighting isn't forever. And Ray's kind of like, hey, he's already built himself and built his businesses.
He got his thing.
Yeah, so it's just like if you were to say like, hey, I'm done, then, dude, I mean, he's going to accomplish even more, man. Because as much time as you guys put into training and fighting, like, it takes a lot, bro. And I'm thinking, you know what? Now he can use all that to do something else. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just going to make him even more of a, go-getter and more accomplished and everything, dude. And I mean, I'm grateful for that guy, man. I definitely have, like I said, I have a lot of respect for that dude, man.
He's a blessing. I love that guy, man.
But yeah, bro. I mean, as far as San Antonio, like I said, dude, we're going to be, I'm supposed to be going to to the Texas Clash fights tomorrow, man. They're going on. I know a lot of the guys were here earlier today. The promotion, I mean, if I make it, great, man. But I mean, I'm able to talk to a lot of guys from Corpus Christi that are going to be out there. The fights here for Fury FC, once again, dude, I'll be out there, hanging out with everybody. And one of the things I tell people is when I get opportunities like that, man, it's like a family reunion, man. It's just kind of like people that, even though they're in San Antonio, I don't get to see them every day. Yeah. The fact that I get to see them at tournaments or at fights, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, why not, man? Go talk to everybody, man. But, my man, I'm going to cut it already. I appreciate you coming by, bro. I mean, of course, door's always open, dude. If anything, you want to come in and talk again, man, we'll definitely do that. I want to thank you for showing up. I want to thank you for what you're doing and definitely inspiring me, dude. Just talking to you, man, you're definitely a cool individual, man, and I'm looking forward to more conversation, bro.
Heck yeah, brother. Thank you, brother.
No, not a problem, man. And everybody out there, man, I mean, of course, this is sPidA, the Fight Card Podcast. As always, chime in, subscribe, and follow up. Until next time.
Aloha.
Aloha.